What's up, everybody? 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 And welcome to the TNR Sports Show Part 2. And I say Part 2. This isn't really a Part 2. This is the first time we're recording this is the second time we're recording the episode. I'm a little stressed out. Ryan, how are you feeling?
Um, I feel good.
I feel stressed, Ryan. I'm on edge. We recorded this episode and it's gone. Boom, deleted, gone. It's my fault. I'm an idiot. I take all the responsibility. I take all the blame. So maybe this is a good thing. The last episode was a little rambly on my part. So we're gonna get rid of the rambling. We're gonna get rid of the dumb shit, dumb stuff. And man, I'm cussing. This is gonna be a good episode. This is gonna be a great episode, and you're gonna love it out there in the world. This is gonna be a good episode. It's gonna be informative. It's gonna be great. You're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna learn. We know stats now, Ryan, that we didn't know before.
Now we know.
Jason Brown is starting for the University of South Carolina. We didn't know. We didn't know what time these games were going to be. We know now. Maybe we should do like a pre-recording every time. Practice.
We should actually prepare.
Yeah, actually prepare. We don't do that here. We go and we go fast and we go hard, like that Wayne The Rock Johnson says on TikTok. All right, here we go. Ryan, I hope God no one saw that. I will edit it out. All right, I have to scroll back up to the top. Playoff rankings. We did them in the last episode. I'm not doing them in this episode. Here's what you need to know. Alabama's still number 2. Cincinnati's still like 5th. Oregon is 3. Ohio State's 4. And Michigan State is 7th. Michigan is 6th. There you go. Boom. There's your rankings. Are you happy? Are you satisfied now? People out there in the world. Oklahoma's 8. Oh, Arkansas's 25. Ooh, big. I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. There's your rankings. You want to look them up. You want to know the rankings? Look them up on Google. It's not that hard. You don't need to know what I think about them. Here's what I think about them.
What are you talking about? Shut up, Trent.
Here's what I think about the playoff rankings. Georgia's going to whoop everybody's ass. It doesn't matter who's 1, 2. It doesn't matter who's 2, 3, 4, or 5. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It's true. All right, there you go. We're not even doing UNC Pitt. It's tonight. By the time this comes out, you won't even know what we think about it. Ryan's going with Pitt. I'm going with UNC. All right, here we go. All right, Michigan and Penn State, kind of a big game in the Big Ten. The over-under is 50-48, and the line is even. Ryan is picking Michigan. I'm picking Michigan.
Yeah, I think Michigan's a little hotter than Michigan State, so I'm going to take the Wolverines.
I think Michigan, unlike Penn State, has something to play for. Like, so what? Who cares? I mean, they played Indiana last week, big letdown spot, especially after losing to Michigan State the way they did. And they played pretty decently. So you can walk away with that and be like, hey, it wasn't exactly what we wanted, Michigan State, but we're still here. We can still make a chance. We still can beat Ohio State. All right, UCF at SMU. Line's minus 7.5. Over-under is 59.5. SMU, we're both going with SMU. Ryan made the good point that even though SMU lost, they're not going to make the championship game now, most likely. It's still good for them because they still have something to prove against Cincinnati. They can get into a better bowl, beat Cincinnati. I think UCF's not that good. Ryan, what do you think?
I think it's both teams have had a little bit of letdown recently, but I think SMU with Tanner Mordecai having the most touchdowns in FBS will win the game.
All right, here you go. Here's a big one for you. All right, Oklahoma at Baylor. Lines minus 6, over under 63. Predictions. We're both taking Oklahoma. Ryan, why do you think Oklahoma's going to win the game?
I think they're going to win the game mainly because I think Caleb Williams is just changing everything at Oklahoma. Baylor obviously had the letdown last week against TCU against a former Oklahoma backup quarterback, who had over 500 total yards against them, which makes me feel like Caleb Williams will also be able to have a good game against the Baylor Bears. Oklahoma has made some changes to the secondary. Key Lawrence has moved out to cornerback, he played really well against Texas Tech. Woody Washington, who has been out since before the Texas game, is reportedly most likely going to be able to play. This is probable right now. He is our normal starting cornerback. So hopefully we get him back finally.
Woody.
Hopefully change everything back. Woody Washington.
What a cool guy.
What a cool guy. Great guy. A lot of interceptions against Texas. Love him. So hopefully changed in the secondary. Caleb Williams still being hot. I think Baylor or Oklahoma gets to win against Baylor.
I like Oklahoma in this spot for 2 reasons. The game's at 12. We know that now after recording the first episode. And Oklahoma off the bye week. I made the point last week that last episode, or this one that we didn't record, that I think Baylor is a good football team, but I don't think after with the 12 o'clock, the bye week, getting healthier, Oklahoma's big 2 are the ones next week and the week after. Those are the ones Oklahoma's going to have to worry about. I think this one they'll skirt by in some way, shape, or form. They're prepared for it too. You look back at that Kansas game, and you can say what you want. I would say poor job by Lincoln Riley and them not having them boys prepared. They overlooked Kansas. They didn't care about Kansas, and then that's what you get was what you got against Kansas. I don't think that's a true representation of what Oklahoma is on the football field. We're both going with Oklahoma. Oklahoma's going to win close, though. It's not going to be a no blowout or anything. It's going to be close. It's going to be a close win. The Caleb Williams shines. All right. Also, if Caleb Williams goes off these next 4 games that they've got going on, I count the Big 12 championship game, he might win the Heisman. I don't know.
I'd say he's the most talented quarterback.
He's definitely he's definitely the one who's slinging it around the most. All right. NC State at Wake Forest, line is -2.5. Over 66.5. We're both going with the Forest here. Ryan did point out this game decides how Clemson could make the ACC championship game. Yeah. I like Sam Hartman. I think he should be in consideration for the Heisman. Wake Forest always scores over 35 points every game. They haven't yet. I think that doesn't stop till Clemson. I think they beat NC State here.
Yeah. It doesn't matter which team wins for Clemson to make the ACC championship. It just decides which path it will take for Clemson to make it. But I agree with you. I think Sam Hartman is probably one of the best, if not the best quarterback in the ACC right now. He's killing it. He should be in New York at the end of the season. And I think Wake Forest wins because of Sam Hartman.
I agree. I like Wake Forest, Sam Hartman. Their defense is bad, but we made the point that NC State offense isn't that great. So
it's also a night game. So hopefully Wake Forest fans will show up.
They have a very small stadium, but they can make a big impact. All right. Mississippi State at Auburn. The line's -5.5 toward Auburn. The over is 50. Ryan's going with Auburn. I'm going with Mississippi State. I like State here. I made the point that Mississippi State has a good run defense. Arkansas didn't struggle with him too terribly bad, but at the same time, I think it'll be enough to make the Bo Nix have to decide to do things and have to decide to pass the ball. At that point, I then believe we're going to get bad Bo Nix. A lot of layers here. And I think Mississippi State wins the football game based off of that.
Yeah, Auburn lives and dies off Bo Nix. If Bo Nix plays well, they could beat anyone except Georgia in the country. And if Bo Nix is bad, they could lose to anyone in the country. I think Bo Nix figures it out and gets back on track. Because of that, I think Auburn wins. It's in Jordan Hare, so Auburn Tigers.
I like that. I like that a lot, Ryan. I like that a lot. All right, there you go. There's Mississippi State at Auburn. All right, UConn at Clemson. The line is -40 on over under 49.5 or 49. We're both going with Clemson here. Dabo Swinney said that if he doesn't win this game, he's going to be fired. I don't think that'll happen, but I also don't think they're going to lose the game. Clemson, big here. Big. UConn is terrible. Also, Ryan, what did you say? The game of the brothers.
Yes. Tyson Fomichon, Clemson's backup quarterback. His brother was a starting quarterback at UConn before he tore his ACL. So a lot of Fomichons will be at the game. I think this is a game that Clemson needs to use to get ready for Wake Forest and South Carolina. They're stretched. They have to beat Wake Forest and they have to beat South Carolina just out of pride. So Clemson, figure your things out this weekend, and let's move on.
All right, Clemson, boom, bada bing, bada boom. All right, Coastal at Georgia State. Oh no, Georgia State at Coastal. Grayson McCall out again. I am trying to pull up my phone who their starting quarterback is going to be. I've almost got it, Ryan. What? How in the world did I manage to click on that? I clicked on the Lord have mercy, Ryan. I swear to God. Who did they beat last week? Georgia Southern?
Yeah.
All right, here it is right here. The stats. I've made it. Brian Carpenter. He wasn't very good. Oh my God. He must have ran the ball a lot. He had 44 yards rushing, They ran the ball a lot, I guess, last week. He was 13 for 20 for only 85 yards. Not great, especially since Georgia Southern's kind of bad. Arkansas pummeled them. So I like Coastal in this spot regardless. I think they have a good football team. Now they need Grayson McCall back if they want to win anything. But now it doesn't even, me and Ryan discussed, I think on last week's episode of Monday's episode, that it's possible that they don't even make the thing because App State, they need App State to lose. And it doesn't seem like App State's going to lose. So
I think that Coastal, I think it'll be good that they have more time to prepare for their backup quarterback. He didn't really have a lot of time to prepare last week. But I still think Coastal wins this game.
Yeah, I like Coastal in this spot. So Appalachian State plays at Troy, and then versus Georgia Southern. I don't think Coastal makes the Sun Belt Championship. That's crazy.
I think State wins those games.
Yeah, there's no way they lose unless they lose to Troy, but then maybe. But oh my goodness, Coastal, what are you doing? It's crazy how there's just that one team that's in your way like that.
One game.
Yeah, one game. You lose one game all year, and that happens to be the one that matters the most. All right, Georgia at Tennessee. Line is minus 20.5. Georgia over-unders 55. We're both going with the dogs here. I don't think Tennessee can win this game. I was thinking about it. Tennessee is overachieved this year. That's a fact. It's good for them that they have amount of, all postseason or off season, whatever you want to call it. All off season, we just bashed Tennessee. The fact that they just had transfer after transfer after transfer, just leave the program. The fact that they're probably the third best team in the SEC East right now, maybe second. They beat Kentucky, who I would consider the second team in the best team in the SEC East.
Yeah, not bad.
Florida's bad. Vanderbilt's bad. South Carolina's bad. So.
Yeah, no, I think this game comes down. I think Georgia wins. I think we both agree Georgia wins. I think really the only interesting thing about this game is to see what Georgia does against a high-powered offense that's hitting stride. That's really all it is. The only interest for this game. We know Georgia's going to win it. It's in Tennessee. Tennessee has a good offense, not so much a great defense, but it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. I like Georgia's chances to win. I like Georgia's chances to. This is going to be a good spot for Georgia to face a good offense and to prove that they can shut them down. If they win by like 35, like they have been, that's not going to be good. They hold Tennessee to like 10 points too. That's also going to be bad.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Georgia got a good defense. Not bad, but good for Georgia, I guess. All right, Minnesota at Iowa. Line is minus 6.5. Well, we're going with Georgia there. I don't know if I said that or not. I think we did. Minnesota at Iowa. Line is minus 6.5. Order under is 37. Ryan, you're going with Iowa. I'm going with Minnie.
Everyone thinks it's going to be a low-scoring game. Iowa has that good defense. Iowa made a good quarterback change. I think Iowa wins this game.
All right, Iowa. I'm going with Minnesota. I like their chances to win. I think it's setting up a big challenge between Minnesota and Wisconsin for that Big Ten, whatever what you call it, the West, I guess. Big challenge for them in the West. So we'll see what happens there. All right, here you go. Here's another big one for you. South Carolina at Missouri. One line is minus 1.5 to South Carolina. Over is 55. Ryan's going to South Carolina. I'm going Missouri. Why are you going with South Carolina, Ryan? Especially that you're starting Jason Brown.
Yeah, Jason Brown will be starting for South Carolina. Mizzou's bad. Mizzou's a bad team. They're not good.
Agreed.
MVP one of note, really. They've just gotten blown out every single turn if they played a decent opponent. South Carolina, I don't think is bad. I don't think they're good. I don't think they're bad. Because of that, I think South Carolina wins this game.
Yeah, I made the point earlier in the last show. South Carolina, good football team, not a good football team. I made the point that this has been South Carolina's worst football team, like in years. And the fact that they've done what they've done and achieved what they have achieved when they should have really only won 2 or 3 games is nothing short of remarkable. Shout out to Shane Beamer. Beamer Ball. Ryan's a big fan of South Carolina. He loves South Carolina fans. He loves South Carolina football teams. He loves the University of South Carolina and the Gamecocks of South. Isn't that right, Ryan? Can you confirm or deny that?
I can definitely deny that.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. This is a pro South Carolina show, Ryan. Do you not accept the Gamecocks of South Carolina?
Revoked.
Oh, that's so sad. All right, South Carolina, Missouri. Where I'm going with Missouri, I think they're going to win the football game. This is a statement game for Eli Drinkowitz, and he's a loser, but I still think Missouri's going to win. If there's two teams that I dislike more on one football field, it would be hard for me to point it out this week at least. This is my number one hate game. I wish they would tie. I wish they would tie. All right, Purdue at Ohio State. Ryan, you're going with Purdue, which I think is crazy town. I think Ohio State blows them out. Why do you think Purdue's going to win the football game?
Purdue's just known for getting these big upsets. Purdue's defense isn't half bad. Purdue's offensive passing game has been pretty good these past few weeks. You know, we've seen Ohio State struggle against teams they maybe not should be struggling to. And because of that, I think Purdue can sneak into Ohio State, get a win, and get out.
Yeah, I think Purdue's going to win as well. I like no, I don't. I think Ohio State's going to blow out Purdue. I think they're going to slaughter them. I don't know. I just think Purdue's stock is too high right now, and I like those Ohio State Buckeyes to win. All right, A&M at Ole Miss. The line is -2.5. The Ole Miss 55.5. Ryan is going with we're both going with A&M. I think Ole Miss is too beaten up. Maybe they got some players back. I think it really screwed them to have their bye week like week 3. Ugh, that's tough. I think Arkansas's was too late and theirs was too early. I think Oklahoma's was really late. So shout out to Oklahoma for having a nice bye week. To prepare for these big 3 games. It's not like the Big 12 is looking out for them or anything, huh?
I honestly, I don't think so anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. Maybe before the season. Maybe when the schedule came out, yeah.
I think Texas A&M has a way better defense, miles better.
Oh my God, it's not even a competition.
That helps. Texas A&M also has a pretty decent offense. I'd say pretty good offense, actually. I think it's a no-brainer. Texas A&M wins this game.
I like that as well. Texas A&M. I just think Ole Miss too injured. A&M's defense is good. That running game, it's got to equal itself out. They're hot, man. When you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. A&M's hot. Like I said, I think A&M would destroy Arkansas if they played today. I don't think Arkansas would win. But we got them when they were cold as ice. So, you know, when you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. That's what they say. All right, here's another big game in the ACC. Notre Dame at Virginia. The line is -4.5 to Notre Dame. We're both going with the Who's here, the Wahoos, the Cavaliers. I like Virginia in this spot mainly because I think they have an explosive offense, and I think it's going to score a lot of points even on this Notre Dame defense. And I think overall, it's going to come down to the fact that Notre Dame's offense isn't as good as Virginia's, and even though Virginia's defense is god-awful, I think you're going to see just a balance there, and I think Virginia's going to win the football game.
I think it's a travesty that Brennan Armstrong is not a Heisman candidate.
Agreed.
He has thrown the most yards in all of FBS. He's passed for the most yards in all of FBS at this point right now, and he's not a Heisman candidate. Anyways, Virginia definitely has the better quarterback. They have the better offense. They have the worst defense. It'll really kind of depend to see what happens with that. It is in Virginia. I think that helps Virginia out. Not a whole lot because we didn't have a big crowd, but it's not in South Bend, which is kind of the big point.
Yeah.
So I think Virginia wins this game.
I believe the game was at night, wasn't it?
It's at night. It's a night game. Yep.
Oh, it's a night game. Ooh, things are going to be going crazy there in Virginia. All right, TCU at Oklahoma State. Me and Ryan had a big argument about this. I probably can't recreate that, Ryan, but I still think you're crazy for picking TCU.
Nah, man. Chandler Morris. I mean, he went into.
Never mind. We can't recreate it. It irritates me every time he says it.
He plays.
Don't speak that name. I should have forced you to change the rotation.
You're just mad because it's Chad Morris' son.
Oh, man. No, I'm not. I would never be
He could have gone to Arkansas. He could have been your quarterback.
I would rather die.
Anyways, Chandler Morris went
How dare you say that?
Or played against Baylor and had 460 passing yards and 70 rushing yards against a good defense. I think he can.
They've got film on Chad Morris now. They've got film on Chad Morris.
Again,
Ryan's drunk, man. He's crazy.
They don't care about Chad
Oklahoma
Morris
has so much.
No one cares about Chad Morris.
Oklahoma State has so much to play for. They
Okay,
know that the
but I
kid.
think
They
TCU
know
has a
that the
good
kid's.
team.
You think they know the kid's good now? You think they're just going to be like, oh man,
Well, I mean, everyone knows he's good.
but they have film on him now. They didn't have
They
no one have
still
film.
on him when he played for Oklahoma. He got plenty of garbage
Oh
time.
man, whatever. Get out of here.
Anyways, TCU wins this game.
Oklahoma State and blowout.
It's not a blowout. They can't blow anyone out. They can't score.
They blew out Kansas. They blew out West Virginia last week. That's better than y'all did.
I don't know if they blew them out. But
It was like 20-some points.
I guess it depends what your opinion of the blowout is. But okay.
I mean, it was more than you blew them out by.
I mean, it was before we made a
And they were
quarterback
both at
change.
home at night.
Before we made the quarterback change.
Oh my God. I'm just here. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I'm going to choose to ignore it.
Okay.
Oh my God.
We'll revisit this on Sunday.
I get riled up when Chad Morris's name is mentioned. It just
Chandler.
It's his offspring. It's his offspring.
Chandler.
It's his offspring. All right. Speaking of Arkansas at LSU. Arkansas is favored by 2. The over-under is 59. I like the Arkansas Razorbacks. Those Arkansas Razorbacks to shove it down Coach O's throat one last time. First, we got bowling. The first B. The Battle of the Bees for right now for Arkansas. Bowling. Next is the boot. That's the trophy Arkansas and LSU share, Ryan. I don't know if you know that or not. The boot. Next will be Bama. Bring on Alabama.
Speaking of Chad Morris, we're going to talk about Arkansas.
Will Arkansas lose this game as a look ahead because they're looking ahead to Alabama?
No, they're aware of this game. They want to beat LSU.
Yeah, that's true. I think they do. We haven't beat LSU in a couple of years now. We haven't really. Well, I say that like we've been winning. We've been god awful these past couple of years. So I shouldn't. I say, oh, we haven't beaten LSU in a couple of years. We haven't beaten nobody in a couple of years before this year, before these past 2 years. So, freaking Arkansas is gonna destroy LSU. LSU. Here's my prediction: blowout. Arkansas. You think it's a blowout, Ryan?
Not a blowout, but a win. Close win.
Closer than the experts think. Which they already think it's very close.
I mean, the experts think it's going to be pretty close.
That's why I think it's going to be. It's going to be a 1-point game instead of a 2-point game.
Exactly.
Closer than the experts think. All right, Washington State at Oregon. The line is -14. Oregon's 56.5. Ryan is going with Oregon. I'm going with Oregon. Ryan make the point that we made last episode.
I think they'll win this game against Washington State, but I think they're going to struggle against their next 2 because they got at Utah, and I think Utah will beat them. And then they got to play, I think it's at home against Oregon State. I don't know who's going to win that game.
I think they might lose 2 in a row after this one.
They very well might.
They lose this one, they might lose 3 in a row.
I'm a fan of Utah, but
if Oregon
they'll win this game.
If Oregon can lose to Stanford, they can lose to Oregon State, and they can lose to
Washington State.
Yeah, they can lose to Washington. Why did the guy get the jab, man? All right, there you go. That was a quick recap right there. We knew we had to run through it. All right, here's another one for you. I did this in the last episode, but I only do one this one. We won't do the CBS one. We'll do the Boomer one. All right, here's Big Game Boomer on Twitter. This is his bowl predictions. What are you nodding your head at, Ryan? This is your Oklahoma guy. I'm giving Oklahoma some love right now.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
All right. I think Georgia. This guy has Georgia and Oklahoma. Oh my God, no bias here. Georgia and Oklahoma playing in the college football playoff championship. He's got Georgia playing Cincinnati in the Cotton Bowl and Oklahoma playing Oregon in the Orange Bowl. Some other games of note. He's got Michigan and Ole Miss in the Citrus Bowl. Ooh. The Peach Bowl, he's got Michigan State and Notre Dame. Ooh. He's got Sugar in A&M and Oklahoma State. In the Duke's Mayo Bowl, it's Clemson versus Kentucky. In the Myrtle Beach Bowl, it's Coastal versus Marshall. The Liberty Bowl has South Carolina versus Kansas State. The Music City Bowl's got Arkansas versus Purdue. Who else is left? Is there anybody I didn't mention there? I don't think so. Let me see. Virginia playing Oregon State in the Sun Bowl. Tennessee's playing NC State in the Gator Bowl. These are all predictions. They'll probably change them up. Texas Bowl, Mississippi State versus Texas. All right. There you go. A little bowl prediction for you. We're getting to that point. We only have 3 games left.
Almost there.
Week 11. Oh, week 11. No, this is so sad. This is so sad.
It's almost over.
Also, I didn't say it at the beginning of the episode because I was fired up because we didn't record. Like, subscribe, turn on the bell for notifications, comment, do everything. I'm wearing my Arkansas gear today. I'm kind of remember everything I said at the beginning of last episode. Wearing my Arkansas gear. I got some slack for not wearing my Arkansas gear, so I'm wearing Arkansas gear today. I don't want to hear anything about it. Shout out all the faithful fans. We got a couple out there, a couple listeners. So thank you for listening. You want college basketball stuff? That's going to come next week. College basketball's back. And, this podcast started as a college basketball podcast. Fun fact. You remember that, Ryan?
Yeah. Back in the old days.
Yeah. Back when there was just a playoff game and some NFL football. Now we've got a bunch of stuff we can talk about. College football, predictions, playoff. We get a little closer. We might even do a prediction show, Ryan. You want to do like a pre-playoff prediction poll?
Oh, yeah.
That'd be nifty. Well, I'll have it released right before the other playoff.
Ours will be way better than the actual one.
We should be ahead of the playoff committee.
Honestly.
True. All right. Any last comments, questions, concerns?
I'm very concerned.
For my mental health. Yeah, I agree.
Are we recording?
Yeah, we are. Thank God. Oh, my God. I think overall this episode was better than last episode. It was quicker, more to the point, efficient. You know how it goes. All right. Ryan, any last thoughts? No? Your thought was, are we recording? I hope Georgia beats Tennessee. I hope Virginia, Wake Forest. I hope they beat. Who does Wake Forest play? NC State. Here's one of my hopes. I'll post all our predictions. Ryan, mortal lock. Do you have a mortal lock? We should do that too.
That's a toughie. You know what I'm gonna say? It's gonna piss you off.
You're gonna say Ole Miss, LSU.
No, man. I think
LSU plus
TCU beating Oklahoma's my mortal lock. Oklahoma State.
Oh my God, no way. Ryan is 1-0 in his mortal locks. I'm 0-1. He had Coastal.
That's why you trust me. Oh, TCU.
Who am I gonna go with? Fine, I'm going with Baylor plus 6.
You already picked Oklahoma. How can that be?
Well, Oklahoma can still win by 3.
All right. Good.
Baylor plus 6.
All right.
A house divided cannot stand, Ryan. This house is divided.
TCU. Who cares?
I do.
Why?
You don't understand, Ryan. You didn't lose like I lost. You didn't lose to Colorado State on the road. You didn't lose to North Texas at home.
Lost to BYU.
Oh, boo-hoo. They're a good football team. All right. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. All right. All right, everybody. That's the end of the episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, share. Thanks for watching the TNR Sports Show. The TNR Sports Show.